Oh, he did ask.
I was just wondering.
He did ask to meet the Durty Gurl. And
Tell him to find us on the Facebook.
right. Okay.
There you go.
That's beautiful. Okay. Action.
We good?
Action. We're good.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Drop the Disc podcast.
Welcome to the Drop the Disc
I am
podcast.
Chris Snapples.
My name's David Bash.
And we are here with a very awesome guest who has provided us some awesome drinks already. And I'm going to go ahead and let you...
You want to let him in already?
Who are you?
Let him in.
Yeah, my name is David Hopkins. I own Durty Gurl Cocktail Mixers based here in Augusta, Georgia.
I'm very excited to know more about that. But before we get into that, we've got to talk about a little bit.
Right.
Fair enough.
So the first thing I want to say, I want to give a shout out to the Augusta players. I want to give a shout out to Mamma Mia, the production they put on.
How was that?
It was fantastic.
I was
really
not able to go, unfortunately.
It was fantastic. I had never seen Mamma Mia before, but my girlfriend,
Are you
Kat,
kidding me?
who does not listen to the show, she listens to the soundtrack when she drives. Like, so those are polar opposite people that I just described.
She's an ABBA
She's
fan?
an ABBA queen, right? So, so she loved it, and she was all about it. I thought it was great. It wasn't for me, but I thought it was great. They had a dance party afterwards in the Imperial Theater, which was interesting and unexpected.
Very cool.
But fantastic. Thank you to the Augusta players for continuing to have a relationship with us, and the show was fantastic.
That's awesome. It is. We want to shout out our presenting sponsor, Nancy Powell. She is our presenting sponsor for the year 2020.
She's fantastic.
Speaking of fantastic, she's an incredible realtor. She is a real estate associate broker.
That's a fact.
And she's part of the concierge real estate team.
Right. And she's also an ambassador for the Metro Chamber of Commerce.
She does a lot.
And she was here handing us our membership packets because we just joined the Augusta Metro Chamber.
We did.
So,
yes,
congratulations.
We're excited about that. A lot of good things happening, and we're going to talk about more good things happening as we go. But,
absolutely.
David, if y'all have been listening, David purchased a home.
Nancy helped me with it. She was my agent. And so Nancy and I actually had a little session where we sat down and we kind of talked about how it was to work with each other. And she's been giving us advice for so long. We're going to let her rest. We're going to drink these cocktails, unfortunately not with Nancy. And I'm going to kind of give you guys an insight to how it was working with Nancy. All right, this is David sitting with Nancy in her office at the Concierge Real Estate Services office downtown. Yeah. And this is your office.
Correct.
What's our address right now?
971C Broad Street.
So, with no further ado, Nancy, when we worked together, I was always all over the place, at least in my mind. What motivates you to keep going when you're working with someone like me?
Well, I guess my motivation with my more challenging clients is being able to take them from the uncertainty of buying their home to the closing table. You know, I see my job as their realtor is to be able to answer any questions along the way, listen to their needs, and give them options that fulfill those needs, and to guide them through each step of the process, and giving them focus and certainty that they are making the best decisions for themselves. So I guess you could say that is my motivation.
Thank you so much. And if you want to buy the perfect home from Nancy, her email is nancy@opentoclose.team.
Yes.
Easy to remember.
Yep.
She's a team player.
She is.
That's it. That's all you got to remember. nancy@opentoclose.team. Thank you so much, Nancy.
Yes. So we've met David.
We have. I'm here.
We've met you, and I had a brief conversation with you in the elevator. But I'd like to get to know you a little bit more.
Sure. Yeah.
So you're the owner of Durty Gurl.
I am, yes.
What is Durty Gurl?
So Durty Gurl Cocktail Mixers, we, again, are based here in Augusta, Georgia. Very proud of that. But we specialize in high-end quality cocktail mixers. We have a full line of cocktail mixers ranging from an olive juice that's naturally aged for 10 months to 3 varieties of Bloody Mary mixers using all natural ingredients.
I can tell you from personal experience, 1, the spicy one is great. 2, the spicy one is very spicy.
It's fun.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Well, good. Yeah, so that's my favorite. If I had to choose between one of the varieties of the Bloody Mary, I'm a spicy guy all day long. So the habanero to me is the perfect heat. I do understand where that doesn't appeal to the masses. So that's why we offer some other varieties.
Right.
You know, we have the mild, which is just your traditional classic Bloody Mary that has been very successful in some golf course communities or even some on-premise accounts that prefer to build their own Bloody Marys and add their own heat.
Got it.
You know, per the customer's request. The medium, which is by far and away our most popular variety, is flavored with horseradish. If you like oysters, it does not contain oysters, but it makes an incredible oyster shooter and does very well in coastal communities and on-premise accounts as well. Really love the flavor that is provided in the horseradish mix.
Okay.
And then we also have a margarita mix.
Is that what we're drinking right now?
It's what you're having right now.
I was going to say, play on words a little bit, and people at home, I'm sorry, but I'm a little bit of a virgin when it comes to Durty Gurl.
Okay.
I have never had, take that any way you want. I have never had Durty Gurl mixers,
Okay.
and we are drinking one right now.
Cheers.
And so it's delicious.
I did not know that about you.
That's why I'm so excited about this episode.
And we have these drinks right now. We're drinking these drinks, and you didn't make them.
I did not.
Can you have someone tell us about these drinks?
I would love to. It would be AmErica. So AmErica joined the team about 6 months ago, and she is our digital media manager and also our on-air personality and mixologist.
Except today.
Except for today. Yeah.
So AmErica, tell us about these drinks. That's perfect.
That's perfect.
So today we're enjoying a vodka, which we are actually making with Second City Distilling Vodka. So shout out to them, as well as our Durty Gurl Margarita Mix, and then just a simple splash of orange juice.
And you guys work with Second City a lot.
We do, yeah. They're actually like a really, really close. I would say it's almost like a family. Really, they sell our products on the Saturday market as well as in their distillery. And then every chance we get to take them to an event, they're the perfect complement to our mixers.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, AmErica.
Not a problem. Thank you.
And we're going to talk a lot about Durty Gurl today. But before we get into that, I want to talk about you. We're here for your story.
Sure.
So you're the creator of Durty Gurl, the owner of Durty Gurl. How did you come to be? Oh, I just hit my beats. How did you become to be the person that started this company? What predated this? Did you grow up in Augusta?
Yeah. Well, I was born in Mississippi, but we moved here when I was 8 years of age. So yeah, more or less. Yeah, and this is home to me.
North or South Mississippi?
Madison, Mississippi, right outside of Jackson.
Okay.
So then we moved here. My father was in law enforcement, and then took a job with the state, and then ended up being transferred out to Savannah River site, and so we've been here ever since.
So that's the origin story.
That's what brought us to Augusta. The beginnings of Durty Gurl, actually, in full disclosure, started in California. It was started by a husband and wife that were retired. And it was a hobby to them. The product that they offered was the olive juice. The olive juice is a naturally aged olive brine from a California olive. So this was a hobby to them, and a hobby turned into more of a responsibility for good reasons. It was a growing business, and they didn't want the headache from that and the stress that came along from that. So myself and my business partner,
took over.
Ray Carnes, bought them out end of 2015, early part of 16.
Got it.
And then expanded into the full line of mixers.
So this is a California company.
It was, yes.
And you guys living in Augusta, right? Am I correct?
That's correct.
You purchased this company, and from what I understand, you could have run this company from probably anywhere you wanted to. There's probably better tax situations than Georgia, although Georgia's a great place to do business. What made you stay in Augusta to build this brand?
Well, both myself and my business partner call Augusta home. I have family here. My extended family's here as well. The network of folks that are around us here in the Augusta area. And then in addition to that, I would just say that, we love Augusta. We think Augusta has a lot of great things to offer. It's a growing city.
It's a great soundbite. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and congratulations to y'all as well. What y'all are doing is wonderful, and it takes some pioneers to bring attention and call out the positives of Augusta. But just quite simply, our sister company, for lack of a better term, is RecTech Grills.
Got it.
Which Ray Carnes, my business partner, owns RecTech Grills. And when we were made aware of Durty Gurl and the olive brine, that it was, there was an opportunity to acquire the company. He and I have always had the entrepreneurial bug, and we had always kicked around several different ideas, and it just made a lot of sense. It kind of fits the lifestyle brand that they've built. You're grilling, and a cocktail goes very well with
Absolutely.
that. So by partnering with one another, that allowed us to share infrastructure, which is very important. Launching a young company, every dollar counts. So, we're able to keep our overhead down by sharing in infrastructure and cost. And they've been a tremendous support system to that. So that's ultimately what led us to that decision.
Got it. So let's back up a little bit.
Sure.
You said you had the entrepreneurial bug. You grew up in Augusta. Did you go to Augusta College?
I did not. No, I started off at Georgia Southern.
Okay.
And have always known that I wanted to study business.
Okay.
Even from a young age. I mean, the second my father would allow me to push a lawnmower, I was that kid in the neighborhood
Hustling.
that had 13 yards, and I couldn't collect until Dad approved that the quality was there. And so I've just, from an early age, he instilled in me good work ethic and integrity and doing it right the first time.
Okay.
So then college years, went to Georgia Southern, then transferred up to Georgia, and then right out of school, I had about 6 years I spent in commercial real estate, which thoroughly enjoyed.
Yeah.
That's
a hustle.
It was a hustle, but I was fortunate. I was with a very good company, a local company. It's now Southeastern. It was Blanchard and Calhoun, the commercial side, but now Southeastern, and
they operate this building.
Yes, exactly. But a wonderful group of folks over there, and some incredible leadership that I was fortunate enough to, at a very young age, work for. That instilled some good work ethic and qualities into me as well. I think at a young age.
Okay.
Very cool.
So college, commercial real estate. What's the stopgap here? What came in between?
In between, a client of mine was in the restaurant business, and I had sold him. I guess I can give a shout out to the pizza joint. Michael.
You can.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Michael Shepis, the founder of Pizza Joint.
Yep.
I met him through a transaction I sold. I don't know if y'all remember Fat Man's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Fat Man's out in Evans.
Oh, yeah.
Sold him that location.
We're both from Evans. Well,
Okay.
I'm from Evans, I
Did you
guess.
ever go to that store, though?
I did go a couple times. I have been before.
I actually, when I was in middle school, they let me work there during Christmas season with the Christmas trees.
They let
Is
us.
that right?
Yeah. I mean, let me as in, I was probably too young.
Yeah, I know what that. Yeah.
Well,
But yeah, it was really cool. I liked what they did with the pizza joint, though.
Yeah, and interesting enough, my wife worked at Fat Man's as well. So when we met, that was an interesting connection there, that I had sold her place of employment. So she wasn't too happy about that. But I've since made up for that, hopefully, I guess. But
We would hope so.
yeah, I hope
we
so.
would think
Yeah.
so, actually.
I hope so. But yeah, so I had the good fortune of being able to help him with that transaction, and then he expressed an interest to me, to try and grow that concept and to franchise it. And so I came on board with him in an effort to help do just that. And was there for about 3.5 years, and helped him with the Aiken location. I also helped him with the Columbia, South Carolina location, and then unforeseen circumstances, the economy in 2008, we're all familiar with.
Bad time to be doing restaurant franchises.
It was, but fortunate for Shepis and the folks at Pizza Joint, they have a good concept that's tried and true, and he certainly was able to come out okay on that. But it was just time for me at that point in time. I was still looking to grow and to do some other things, and myself and this opportunity came along, and myself and Ray just kicked it around, and it made a lot of sense. So it was time to, I guess, try my hand at it.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So real quick, and I know we're going to get into this a little bit more, but when you did RecTech, which came first, RecTech or Durty Gurl?
RecTech.
RecTech came first,
RecTech,
and then kind of with that, Durty Gurl.
Yeah, there's actually a pretty interesting story there, and I don't want to bore you all with all
Go
of it.
ahead,
Yeah,
please.
If it's boring, I'll delete it.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So Ray, when he had the idea to start RecTech Grills, was actually 2008, the second the economy took a significant hit or dive.
Like right after it or right before
the
it?
day of.
Okay.
Yeah. So he sold cars.
Okay.
And he has quite a story. At some point in time, you definitely. Yeah. You'll hurt from laughter after that interview. I can assure you. Far more entertaining than myself. But Ray just was tired of the hustle with the car business, and it was so contingent on the economy, and he just was tired of replacing his barbecue grills, and he had this idea. Some of the technology already existed that's not proprietary to anyone, but he found a way to improve upon that, and so conceptually that started in 2008. And then I think their first grill was sold in 2012, 2013. And then shortly thereafter is when we were made aware of the Durty Gurl cocktail mixers.
That's a long time between the inception of the idea and the business.
Yeah, it certainly was. It was he was not sitting idle.
Of course.
But no, absolutely. It's a lot of that's what a lot of people don't see.
Right.
It's he had to source it. He had to find engineers, get renderings and patents in place. So
you have patents, or RecTech has patents on the stuff. That's great.
Yeah.
That's really cool, though. I just wanted you to say that because people don't think of Augusta businesses and think of worldwide potential, patent holding, growth based. You think local business, you think a diner, you think a restaurant, but you don't think, a place that could sell grills in Canada.
Absolutely.
Or Europe,
and they are, and that's
crazy.
His story is very fascinating. That he comes from very humble beginnings and has done a lot on his own. It's hats off to him.
And we're here to talk you up. So let's keep this on you.
Fair enough. You can take that out. I don't want him to hear any compliments.
So I want to ask you one more question, and then we have to do some promotions. So we have to
half
have to have our halftime show. We already have our drinks, so that's great.
Refills,
of course. So I want to ask you one question.
Hold on. He needs to take a sip.
Catch up.
He needs to catch up.
All right, fair enough.
Let him catch up.
Pause.
Thank you.
No rush on that. So this is just something that I think is interesting. There's a lot of people in Augusta that are starting businesses right now. We're going to talk about this in a minute, but we've just kind of joined up with the Clubhouse, and they're big entrepreneurial sponsors in the city. You have the entrepreneurial bug. RecTech is a crazy business. Durty Gurl is an awesome business that is going to grow. What advice would you have to somebody that's in Augusta that's starting a business right now that wants it to be that big size that you guys imagine, but just maybe doesn't know the steps to take?
Just don't give up. I mean, it's persistency. I mean, I wish I had some profound answer, but it's just simply that. If you have do your homework. Certainly, my real estate days taught me that. You do your due diligence. I'm sure Nancy touched on that.
She does. She's big on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So do your homework. Make sure you have a quality product that has some points of differentiation, whatever your product or angle might be. Know what those points of differentiation are, and then make sure you're competitive. If it's pricing or whatever keeps you competitive. And then just grind. It's just it doesn't come easy, and it's just showing up every day, not being discouraged, and then maybe all of us are just slightly dumb enough to think we can, and that keeps us going. But it's, I would say, just remaining persistent.
And maybe someday they'll be on a podcast, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So speaking of that, we're going to stop real quick. We're going to go and we're going to talk about some of our great friends in business in Augusta. Okay. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about how great your business is in Augusta.
Sounds great.
So today I went by Savannah River Brewery.
Savannah River Brewery.
And I actually went by to grab a beer and talk to him about things, but I ended up having to help him can, which I'm okay with because I'm also helping them out.
Are you part-time now?
No. Okay. All volunteer.
All volunteer.
But it's all about the hustle.
That's right.
But
where would you rather do your volunteer hours?
A brewery. There you go. We want to shout them out. We are not drinking Savannah River Brewery. However, we are using their coasters,
which is the next best thing. I think we can all agree.
Yes. So, but anyways, if you haven't had a chance, it's an awesome atmosphere. I mean, they're open on Sunday. They're open on not Monday. Sorry.
That's the only day they're not open.
No one downtown is open on Monday.
Right.
But anyways,
Monday's the new Sunday.
They've got great beer. They're actually, when this airs, they're rolling out with a new beer.
Tell me about it.
So, David, they're rolling out Dungeons and Flagons.
Tell me more about it.
So, if you are a Dungeons and Dragons fan,
which
David,
you know that I am,
or D&D, they are coming out with a double IPA. It'll be at 9%. And they are calling it Dungeons and Flagons. Flagons, for those of you that don't know, is a measurement of beer back in the day. Like,
interesting.
A whole flagon of beer.
When people wore armor as a fashion statement. Or for protection.
Some historical context on that.
But it'll be out Saturday. This is airing Sunday, so it'll come out Saturday.
It'll be out yesterday or next Saturday?
Next Saturday. This coming Saturday.
It's
Saturday. Confusing.
So to put a nice little pin on that, to put a nice little bow on that, Savannah River Brewery.
Yep.
New beer. If you do like Dungeons and Dragons, you'll love it. If you don't, you'll probably still love it because it's going to be a great beer. Check it out next Saturday.
It's 9%.
9%. Even if you don't like it and you finish it, you still got your money's worth.
Right. So we need to talk about some new partners that we're having.
Please remind me.
We've got the Little Guide.
The Little Guide to Augusta. We've been talking about the Little Guide to Augusta a little bit. It's that little red book, which, Erica, you're in marketing. And I never... introduce yourself. We have a third person in this room who we haven't even introduced yet.
I'm definitely looking forward to an opportunity on bragging on both of those young ladies.
Absolutely.
So that's Amanda Collins.
So you guys do the marketing for Durty Gurl. The Little Guide does the marketing for small businesses in Augusta. And it does it on a grassroots level. You go into a boutique, you go into a restaurant, and you're going to find this guide, and you're going to find all these different stories in the guide about how businesses opened, why they opened, kind of like a short version of what we do with people. And so we just love their brand. We're going to be in the 2020 guide, which we're super excited about.
Heck yeah.
And we're just really happy about this relationship. That's
Unless
it.
you were leaning in to the heart.
I was just good. Yes, I was. The heart, exactly. I was actually, we've been talking to the Little Guide as well, and we certainly hope we haven't missed the deadline, but what a cool publication, and certainly look forward to an opportunity of working with them.
Let's go back into it. Okay, we are back. We are now, once again, doing an interview. Although nothing has changed, we're still sitting at the same table, except now this interview is going to focus on the company of Durty Gurl.
Okay.
So Durty Gurl, you make, and I'm simplifying this, and please forgive me.
No.
Cocktail mixers.
That's correct.
So talk to us about Durty Gurl. So how big is Durty Gurl? That's my first question.
Well, not big enough yet. So
that's always the answer.
Rapidly growing, but no, 2016, as I mentioned, we acquired the company and then very quickly realized that we needed to expand that portfolio or the offerings to make it more widely accepted, if you will.
Of course.
Not everybody's looking for a 10-month aged olive juice, not a whole lot of martini bars, but it's an incredible product, and we knew it was definitely something that we could build upon. So that's
And there's a James Bond movie coming out, by the way. Is your olive juice going to be in that?
That would be incredible.
Right.
Yeah. Can y'all help me with that as well?
We'll see what we can do.
Just James Bond and the little guy's all I'm looking for. Yeah. It's not asking too much, I don't think. But, so we immediately, I myself have always enjoyed Bloody Mary cocktails. So we immediately started focusing on a Bloody Mary mix, and then first one to market was the medium with the horseradish, and then also the spicy for habanero. And then very quickly realized with some of the opportunities that it was that were made available with those offerings, that it just made sense to offer a sour mix as well for those restaurant accounts. So that was in 2016 that we had that full offering or full line of offerings to go to market. And then the better part of a year and a half was just pounding the pavement, just seeing if we had proof of concept. We were fortunate enough, we landed a distributor to handle the Augusta market for us. If you don't own your backyard, you good luck.
Right.
So we certainly gave that a valiant effort, and then expanded into the Savannah, Georgia market. And then we were fortunate enough that Kroger picked us up. So we're now offered in Georgia Kroger stores, and then also some in Alabama. So that was somewhat the catalyst or the momentum that
That's a big deal. That's a lot bigger than a corner store.
Yeah, it absolutely was. But I'll say this: there were a lot of those corner stores that were supporting us in the beginning. That without that, and
that's incredible.
Yeah, without the momentum that they were able to help us build, that Kroger would have never happened. So we do not forget those independent stores. They're certainly always on our radar, and any opportunity we have to do sales promotions or to say thank you, we certainly try to do that. So year and a half was just growing and sales calls, just a lot of no's, but the occasional yes, and that's
just enough yeses.
All it takes is one, right?
Yep.
And then we rolled out, like I said, statewide with Kroger. Picked up some restaurant accounts, some Marriott flags, which carried us into the Florida market. A few Walmart stores have since rolled us out as well that are testing us and has performed very well in. So we're this year, when Walmart has the review, we've been invited out for that opportunity.
Wow.
Fingers crossed. And then this past year, it was time that we needed to reinvest in the infrastructure and have a support, a network. And that's where we had the good fortune. We were introduced to Amanda Collins, who serves as our brand manager. And Chris, you picked on me for it in the elevator, and it's true. I definitely have an old soul. They make fun of me on a daily basis. If it weren't for having a business account, I wouldn't have Facebook. I don't have Instagram. I prefer face-to-face. I prefer a phone call.
Right.
But I understand. I've got to adapt. And Amanda very quickly came on board and validated this young brand online. The things that we were already out in the streets doing, and some of the success that early on we were able to enjoy. Without that social media presence, it's nobody knows nowadays. Right. So she very quickly took everything that we had going for us and the momentum and tied it all together and created that story that you see online, and from branding to consistency in branding to all social media platforms. And then she very quickly, I thought we were good. I was like, okay, we've got Amanda, we're good, let's keep growing. And she, a couple months into it, said, we need more help, and which is a good problem. And that's when we were introduced to AmErica. And AmErica has been a tremendous addition to the team as well. She very quickly I don't jump in front of a camera very often, nor does anybody want to see me in front of a camera. The microphone's okay, but not a camera.
We like to say we have the faces for radio.
Yeah, my mom used to tell me that when I was a kid.
I fall in line with y'all on that one too. But no, Erica very quickly jumped in front of the camera and has built an audience and a following, and in conjunction with our sister company RecTech, who has a tremendous online following and presence. So she very quickly, through her and Amanda's brainstorming, said, there's a missed opportunity here that we can truly develop and grow this brand awareness, piggybacking off of our sister company.
I mean, your name is Durty Gurl.
That's right.
Come on, man. It's spelled wrong.
I know. And we remember I told you just dumb enough. Yeah,
right.
Spelling wasn't my strong suit either, I guess.
And I do want to give you some credit because so Westaboo was something that we were not heavily involved in, but we were involved in it. We had Christy on. She talked to us about it. We ended up at Westaboo.
Yeah.
We see you guys there every night. We go to anything public, we pretty much see at least one of you two, and I'm talking to Erica and Amanda, just for the people at home. We see at least one of you two at pretty much everything, and that's really cool. That shows how in the community you are. So even though you're growing at what sounds like a pretty impressive rate, at least I appreciate that you're still so involved in the city of Augusta, and I think that probably goes back to your story a little bit.
Well, and thank you for saying that, and yeah, they're coming to me with events weekly, and it's like that's another weekend, and we don't they don't ask questions, they just jump in, they love helping, they've taken a vested interest in this company, and it's just as much theirs as it is my own, and that's pretty remarkable to find somebody that is willing to just jump in and full force dive in with the same level of commitment, and I'm not just saying that because they're sitting here in front of me.
Sure.
They're tremendous. So through the online presence that they've developed, it's opened some serious doors. I mean, we were approached by a production team this year that is currently filming a movie, and we don't know any of the details other than Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson are in it. Now, in full disclosure.
Oh, so you're the Hollywood connection. You were acting like we were the Hollywood connection.
No. You're just going to help me with James Bond and the little guy.
Okay, yeah. We're cool with James Bond, though.
And so who knows if it actually happens, but we were asked to send product to the set of their movie, which is really cool.
That's incredible.
It sounds like a James Bond movie.
That's right. And that wouldn't have happened without the online presence that they've built out. So, and then that same production company called us back and said, well, we're shooting a Hugh Jackman movie, which is actually in post-production now.
Wow.
So Amanda is giving me a list.
Are we getting information?
Good.
So,
accuracy.
So it's being used in some through I guess to finalize that point, through their online presence. It's opened up some doors where we're going to be included on some TV shows and even some movies. Now it goes to post production, which I guess means it could still ultimately be edited out.
Yeah.
But
cross your fingers.
Cross our fingers. Yeah. Would you like for me to read them to you?
Actually,
we have a hand raised over here.
I'm not allowed to. Okay.
Oh, this is top secret stuff.
So do we need
Stay tuned.
Amanda and Erica have shut this down.
Yes.
For the party food.
Oh.
So I'm okay with what I've already shared, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If not, we'll just
The power of edit.
Yeah.
We'll be on the lookout.
Edit room.
No.
So that's for a young brand that is experiencing some growth, that's just another opportunity to validate what we're doing, and then that's led to we were able to participate in the South Beach Food and Wine Festival, which was last week before last. My days are running together. In Miami on South Beach, put on by Food Network. So we had the opportunity to display or share our brand.
That's really cool.
In front of a lot of Food Network personalities, buyers from a lot of major retailers. And I can disclose this. We just from that show, we've already closed a deal with a company called Cost You Less, which is essentially a 50,000 square foot Costco. It's not Costco. They're not affiliated with Costco. I'm just using that as the analogy. But they're a 50,000 square foot warehouse in the Caribbean. So they're in Grand Cayman, St. Martin, St. John, at multiple locations. And from that show, they called us and said, we want your product. So that was a win. So that was pretty neat to go and participate in that. And then we have the National Restaurant Show in Chicago. And so again, I'm all of this to say it just goes back to what the girls have done and growing that online presence that has opened a lot of these doors, which is ultimately going to be a platform to widen the reach or the offering of our product.
So I've got two questions.
Sure.
That come to mind. First, we're based in Augusta here, Durty Gurl.
Correct.
Is it being produced in Augusta? And how many people are working at doing that?
Oh, there we go.
No, that's a great question. And so from day one, we wanted it to be as local as possible.
Right.
And but didn't know what that would entail. And in our world, it's not quite as glamorous as a local brewery that there's only a handful of production facilities in our space that if you're truly wanting to grow outside of a regional brand that you must align with. And we were very fortunate from day one. We were able to align ourselves with one of the larger manufacturers in the United States, and that's Tone Product. They're based out of Chicago.
Okay.
And just went out and met with them early on, and we're fortunate enough that they were willing to take on our young brand. And the benefit of that is when you're trying to earn Kroger's business, Publix business, Walmart's business, and so on, you have to be affiliated with a fully accredited co-packer, and Tone checks all those boxes. So, and the nice thing about that too is it and not saying that we wouldn't ever develop a production line for testing or for product expansion or for small batch, but to just be able to keep up with production,
of course,
they're able to do that. And
absolutely.
I mean, we it's a 2-week production time, and if we were doing that in house, that would be a whole separate set of headaches.
That's a separate business almost.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but back to your the second part of that question, David. We now with Amanda and Erica, then we also hired a young lady named Catherine Jones out of Atlanta who worked with Nestle Waters for about 15 years. So she brings to the team the industry knowledge that we did not have. So she has shortened our growing pains considerably. And so she joined the team this past year. Then we have a full team of merchandisers that are servicing which is 3 to 4 people in Atlanta as well that just service our Kroger stores and independent stores to make sure that the product's making it to the shelf.
Yeah.
To make sure the product's...
So you've got close to 10 people on staff.
With just Durty Gurl alone.
With just Durty Gurl.
That's correct. And then again, a huge thanks to RecTech Grills because we certainly lean on their infrastructure.
Of course.
But it's a fine line. They're a rapidly growing business, and we certainly don't want to wear out that welcome. And hopefully we haven't, guys. But thank y'all for all you do.
And they did. Listening. Speaking of RecTech, they did just open up a huge facility. Yeah, it's incredible.
It's amazing.
It's an incredible structure, and I'm sure y'all benefit from that.
Absolutely we do, yes, for sure. And again, we owe a lot to them and for their continued support. But the facility out there, it's the old World of Color Quebecor building, depending on y'all remember it. It was
depending on when you were around.
Exactly. That's exactly. I still go back to the old batting cage that was across the street. I don't know if y'all remember that. There was an indoor batting facility. That's my landmark that I refer to it. But yeah, so they moved in there and have done a tremendous job renovating that building. Y'all certainly should stop by. It's a lot of fun. Full bar, Always something on the grill.
Incredible.
Yeah.
My wife and I went on the opening day, and I want to go back to get the full tour. David, you'd like to see it.
Well, y'all,
I would.
You're welcome anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just let us know so we can make sure we're there because we're on the road quite a bit.
Yeah.
But we'd love for you to come. Absolutely.
And by the way, I want to take this opportunity to shout out. I was just on your Instagram, so I now know that Amanda and Erica are Team AmErica.
Isn't that awesome?
I would like to shout you guys out. And Amanda just got us new drinks, so double shout out to Team AmErica.
I know. I love that.
That's great.
Dirty Girls of America.
Oh, I love it.
That's incredible. You guys have the best branding.
This is a side question. How spicy is your
It's spicy.
Bloody Mary? Because
It's spicy.
I'm telling you, David, spice does not bother me.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things where whenever
Have you ever eaten a habanero pepper?
Yes,
That's what it tastes like.
My brother-in-law grows them, and he actually makes a habanero salt.
Oh.
If you would like to put that on the rim,
I would love to try some of that for sure.
I actually have some at home, and I put it on everything. That's my salt.
Yeah.
I have a problem.
All right. Well, maybe it wouldn't be spicy for you. I will say this stuff that Erica is breaking out right now is the first Bloody Mary pre-mixed I've ever liked.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
It's better than Zang or Zing
absolutely.
Zang.
That's a cuss word. We're gonna edit that out too.
That goes
right?
out.
That goes out.
This is the hottest.
So is that the habanero?
Okay, so tell me what's in it.
So well, that's proprietary, but certainly a variety of peppers.
See what I did there?
Yeah, and then a habanero mash is what's gonna.
Okay.
And before you do sip it, if you want to try the other ones, because that one will
Might as
You'll
well
need
just
a palate
burn my
cleanser.
insides now.
Okay, well, fair enough. Do you like horseradish?
I do. Actually, that's what I put on my Arby's sandwiches.
So great sandwich, by the way.
It is.
Support local business.
Try the horseradish first.
Okay.
And then build
Okay.
to that. And so to your question, my whole family originally was on my mother's side was from New Orleans. So I grew up.
Shout out.
Yeah. So I grew up on Cajun cuisine and spice, and so
That's why it's so good.
I too,
Okay.
yeah, that's
Got
right,
it.
exactly. It goes back to your roots always.
And this is the horseradish. I
that's-
can smell it.
So we have these inspired. Actually, this was totally organic. We did not plan to do this. I don't think. We have these samplings in front of us. Erica, do you want to come talk about these samplings? You seem like you like talking about the mixers.
David, did you bring your Tums?
I didn't. I might be in trouble here.
Yeah, so I've got both of y'all set up with some Bloody Mary.
She took the chair.
I did.
It's over for you.
Put the headphones on her.
Yeah,
she might want to
put the
hear
headphones
it.
on.
This is good. I am your
I'm out. Thanks for having me.
That's it. Thank you for being here.
I am your spokesperson. Oh my goodness, this is interesting.
Isn't this cool? You
This
can
is
actually
really
hear
cool.
it.
So Erica, you are on the microphone right now. You have the headphones on. You are super official, and you have poured us some samples. Please tell us about our samples. We are super excited.
Yes, I'm excited for y'all to try them. So I poured y'all two.
Okay.
Once again, for our Bloody Marys, we have three types. We have a classic, a horseradish, and habanero.
And the first one that we have is the horseradish.
The horseradish, yeah. So that's our medium spice. All of our Bloody Marys are gluten-free, vegan, and vegetarian friendly. There's no high fructose corn syrup. They are made with all natural ingredients, and they are incredible. So you're gonna be going with the just our mild spice.
So if you guys shoot commercials, I would heavily advise you speak in those.
Hey, I try, man. You know.
No, okay, Chris. Let's cheers. Let's try these. We're trying the horseradish.
Yep. That's gonna be our medium spice. So it's that perfect amount of hint. If you don't like overly spicy, but you do like a kick, that's definitely the one to go with. How is it, gentlemen?
It is very mild.
It is very medium.
I do taste the pepper, which I like. And I'm a pepper spice kind of Bloody Mary guy.
Okay.
This tastes like, and I know you said this, it would be perfect with an oyster.
Oh my gosh,
It
yes.
would be super good with an oyster.
That's what that flavor
100%.
says to me.
Hey,
I don't know how you did it.
Y'all missed out. So I guess it would be 2 weeks ago.
The 29th.
Yeah, the 29th. Yeah, Second City had an oyster fest.
I was at a wedding,
saw
and
that.
I was so bummed to be at that wedding.
Oh my gosh, yeah. No, I'm bummed for you too. You missed out on the best time of your life. We were shooting oyster shooters with our horseradish. It was incredible. There was such a big crowd. And throwing axes. What's better than like Bloody
Yes, I
Mary's,
saw
oysters,
that.
and axes?
Stop rubbing it in.
I think I saw a picture where you hit a bullseye, actually.
No, that's definitely correct.
That's a real
Yeah,
picture.
It's a Dirty
Okay.
Girl bullseye.
And this second drink,
So the second one is going to be our habanero. So if you like a little spice, it'll put some hair on your chest. That's the way I describe that one.
Or whiskey.
Or ooh, quite possibly.
Cheers, Chris.
Yeah, you'll
cheers.
enjoy.
Cheers.
See, I'm the world's biggest baby, so I can't handle this. But Amanda. So that's that beautiful spice that's going to hit you in the back. So if you enjoy some
Yes, it
habanero,
is.
you're going to take that first sip. It's going to taste a little sweet, and all of a sudden it's going to hit you with the backhand, which is perfect.
That's good.
Do you feel it?
It's definitely.
He's acting tough.
No. It's
He's
definitely.
sweating, y'all. He's sweating.
It's definitely more than the mild.
Right.
Yeah.
But I will buy some stock if you do it hotter.
Oh my gosh. All right.
In fact, I mean, it's very good. You can
Yeah.
taste the habanero. It's not hidden by everything else.
Not
So
at
you
all.
know it was a habanero pepper, which is nice. But it's not what it was sold as.
Oh my god. Well, okay, for all of those.
I also have no inside in my intestines.
No, clearly
so
you have all of your taste buds are burnt off apparently from the amount of heat you can
Yeah.
handle. Because this is, to me, well, it's for those.
No, it's
It's
super
smoky.
good. I'm not underselling it. It is if you want that spiciness, it's
Yep.
very good. It's there,
And what I
the
will
heat is
say-
in the back of your mouth constantly, so
Right.
you're
Yeah.
reminded about it.
Exactly.
But I'm not dying, so I guess I was just assuming to die, or I'm
I don't
bragging.
think they're going for
Or
that.
I'm
I mean, if
bragging.
anything, we're trying to bring you back to life. That's the
Right.
whole
It
point.
also-
We believe in retoxing and detoxing. Okay, that's what we're there for.
was
That
about to
Bloody
say-
Mary in the morning and that martini at night and that margarita for that
Right.
sweet happiness at lunch.
It also could be the Vagarita that I'm drinking.
It
The
could
vodka
be.
Rita.
Vodka Rita.
Oh, there it is.
So it could be deadening some things going on.
Maybe
in my
feeling a
body.
little saucy.
But I'm also not red. Am I red? If I'm red, it's the alcohol.
I'm hearing a lot of excuses.
Right.
Yeah.
And I will say, when you drink one of these and it's more than just a sample size, it's like you drink it and you're like, oh, that's not too bad. And then you drink it again and you're like, oh, that's a little spicy. And then you finish your glass and you're like, oh, this is still pretty spicy.
true.
And then
That's true.
it kind of starts to
It's just
build.
I was just drinking a sip of just the cocktail
so this
mixer.
is delicious. Thank you for
No,
doing
yeah,
it.
not a problem.
It definitely throws everything else I've ever had under the bus.
And we did not
for
plan
sure.
Thank
to
you.
even do this part.
Well, yeah. Well, I would say that just a crowd favorite is to blend the horseradish and the habanero because
I
the
believe
horseradish
that.
gives you that heat in the front,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden you get that nice heat in the back right afterwards. And so everything's perfectly ground so that you have the same quality of sip from the first to the last. It's delicious.
That was
Excellent.
beautiful. Thank you so much.
Not a problem.
And we are going to now take an opportunity to promote our last new partnership.
I'd like you to do that.
Oh crap!
Because
No, I'm just kidding. I can do it.
I did write a bunch of stuff up there.
Thank you.
But you did help seal the deal.
Right. So our newest partnership that we are super excited to announce is with the Clubhouse. If anybody does not know what the Clubhouse is, it's at the new cyber center that everybody talks about on Reynolds Street. And it's what would you describe it? It's an entrepreneurial think tank almost,
Yeah.
where their goal is to help people build businesses.
I would say from the southeast in Augusta, Georgia, it's kind of what you get in Silicon Valley.
It's a little mini Silicon Valley vibe.
In fact, the people that brought it to Augusta are from the Silicon Valley area.
Right. And you know what's crazy is they just got this clubhouse established in the cyber center, but it's been going on for 7 years where they've been building small businesses, tech-based businesses in Augusta. They inspire companies. They're going to work with us to help us grow. We really appreciate that. They help to support companies. They a lot of times with companies that work there will be the first people to purchase stuff from them, which is incredible, just to show that support. They have events for all of their members. They have networking stuff for people that own businesses to meet each other and learn some things that you could probably teach them, actually.
I have a lot to learn still. I'm sure I could stand to sit in on that as well.
Right. Anyone could, but it's a partnership that we are super excited about, and we hope that we can help get more people's stories out through this partnership with the Clubhouse.
And,
awesome.
and David, after that pretty good organic ad that you just did,
Thank you.
I'm still feeling a very balanced heat, which is great.
Honestly,
Which is great.
I could drink this at home during the winter and save on my heating bill.
Okay.
Chris, I'm with my
It's
palate
still
is much
there.
in line with yours. I love spice, and I'll tell you, if you take like a pepper vodka, if
Yeah.
you want to dial it up.
Okay.
But
I didn't even know that existed.
That sounds great.
Yeah. But,
Wow.
But it's you still have to make sure it appeals to the masses. So it's,
True.
you know,
True.
you can
You're
always,
right.
you can
You're
always
right.
add more. But
Absolutely.
a couple things I'd like to call out on that.
Call them out.
That Erica touched on.
I'm excited.
Is again, the Bloody Mary and the olive juice are all natural, all natural preservatives, lower sodium if you break it down per ounce than a lot of the competitors. Again, gluten-free, vegan, vegetarian, no high fructose corn syrup, to echo what Erica said. And then the margarita mix, which has been certainly a favorite with a lot of the local restaurants. We're actually packing it in a smaller pack size for them to use as their sour mix. And that too, if you look at the nutritional facts, if you break it down per ounce, lower calories, lower sugar. We use real sugar. That sugar is also sourced from a company out of Savannah, Georgia, so that's pretty neat.
Shout out.
And again, back to the original question, that because we are headquartered here, we are a member of the Georgia Growing Program, which is very neat. And for any local business that is looking to scale and looking for some support and direction, that is a tremendous organization that is willing to hold your hand through whatever steps you may need. Yeah, I appreciate y'all trying those. I know that was kind of
Delicious.
No,
Thank
I loved
you.
it.
Yeah, well,
I
great.
loved it. Absolutely.
And
I'm going
On
to get
the-
this at Kroger.
right.
Absolutely, yes, you can. Yeah.
I'm on my way
Actually,
home.
before we do the final question, where can people get Durty Gurl locally? I know you said Kroger, but where else can people go? I know American Journeyman carries it.
Not only where can you go and purchase it, where can you go
Oh,
at a
that'll
bar
serve it.
That'll serve it.
Right,
You
right.
know,
Yeah,
anywhere.
Absolutely. So, first of all, you can always visit our website, and we have a store locator that is constantly getting
What's the
updated.
website?
dgmixers.com.
Got it.
Yeah. Make sure you put the www in front of it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that was for the girls. In
No
the
one
team.
does that anymore.
Oh, you don't have to.
I don't think you have
Okay.
to.
All right.
Not
Learn
on,
something
not
new
on
every day.
the Facebook.
No.
What about MySpace?
Did you have a MySpace?
No.
Really?
No, I didn't.
You can answer honestly.
I really didn't.
Really?
I just got Facebook like 2 years ago, and reluctantly, you know. But
Wow.
but no, I appreciate you asking. So yeah, all local independent package stores have been tremendously supportive from day one. Then from a national standpoint, Kroger stores, Walmart. And then a lot of the local restaurants. I mean, I hate to start naming and then leave some off. But
I understand.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But
Okay, tell us this. What's the first restaurant you were in?
ooh,
That's a good one.
If
That
you
is a
know, if
good
you
one.
don't, I'll just delete that whole.
or you can
soundbite.
take a minute and Google it, and we'll take all this out.
First restaurant. I mean, it might be Ray's Coastal Cafe.
Wow.
Really?
There you go.
Yeah, Ray's Coastal Cafe immediately picked up our
Great place
our
for
sour mix. Yeah.
for the theme that you guys are
Absolutely.
going for.
I'm not certain on that, but they've been tremendously supportive from day one. And then package store wise, I hate to say that too. I don't know exactly
okay.
which one was the
That's
first
okay.
one.
Yeah.
But they've all been tremendously
That's
supportive,
okay.
and without their support, we couldn't have grown into, we're now outside of the state and have somewhat
Yeah.
of a regional presence. And then with the rollout in spring, end of April, will be available and cost you less in a lot of
Okay.
the Caribbean markets, as I mentioned. And then more to come. We have some really exciting conversations currently taking place with some national restaurant
Okay.
groups that, fingers crossed, would be a tremendous opportunity.
So if you're
for
on a
us.
cruise, if you're on a vacation, if you're on a honeymoon in the Caribbean, you can still look for Durty Gurl.
Absolutely, you can.
Fantastic.
Yes.
And I have one more question. We
Sure.
are not a business podcast, but we've been talking a little bit about business. But I'm not going to ask you about any numbers. But as far as growth goes, we've been talking about that for a little while. We've talked about RecTech. RecTech is huge, and you guys are growing. How many states and countries do you anticipate Durty Gurl being in by the end of this year?
By the end of this year, I would think we can certainly have more of a national presence. Again, it was keep it simple, stupid in the beginning,
Of course.
and just focused on Augusta, then focused on Georgia, then focused on the region. And then with these trade shows that we're going to, I mean, our first trade show was a week and a half ago. We're now in the Caribbean. So it's just the biggest hurdle or obstacle to overcome is we're confident of the quality and the flavor profile. It's just a matter of getting it in front of those buyers and the consumer. And these shows are the platform to do that. So, when we're out in Chicago, I mean, all the national buyers are there and distributors are there. So it's, I would think by the end of this year, we certainly can have distribution outside of the Southeast, which we've already accomplished that with the Caribbean, like I said. But I would think by year end, we can certainly have more of a national presence.
That's incredible.
And that's the goal.
Okay. And so the first thing you said when I asked you that question is that you wanted to start your focus locally.
Sure.
And we're going into our last question right now, so you know what's coming. So talking about local, talking about Augusta, you've helped grow businesses in Augusta. You've been here for a while. You left for college, you came back, which is a story that we're starting to hear more of, which we think is really great. Talk to us about, our podcast name is Drop the Diss, and that's because we want to explain that we don't want people to diss Augusta. We want to drop any diss people have of Augusta. If somebody comes up to you and talks about just negatively on Augusta, just starts dissing the city, what would your response be to that person?
I mean, I've experienced that conversation, and I would think that the first question I always ask is, when's the last time you visited? And I understand. I mean, 10 years ago, if you visited Augusta, the landscape, or maybe even further than that, but the landscape has changed drastically. And I would give us a shot, come back and see what's happened in little old Augusta, if you will. And we've had some good leadership in recent years. Obviously, there's always things we can do better, but there's a lot of people with good vision that have Augusta and the surrounding communities have its best interest at heart. And then obviously with what's happening with the Cyber Command, everything relocating from Fort Meade to Augusta, I mean, the impact that's going to have on this the local economy.
Is that public knowledge now, the Fort Meade to Augusta relocation?
Well, please don't quote me on that, but I certainly...
David Hopkins says...
I've heard
owner
that.
of Durty Gurl.
The way it's been explained to me, and certainly I don't, my resources are probably nowhere near as impressive as y'all's, but obviously with the guests and the lineup y'all had on your shows. But you're seeing a lot of companies relocating here to Augusta, and I think it's because of what Fort Gordon offers. I mean, the raw undeveloped real estate that Fort Gordon has. I mean, I remember back in that 08-09 time when a lot of forts were being either downsized or closed altogether. I think Fort Gordon was identified early on as one that would always remain, and it was simply because of the untapped, undeveloped real estate that came along with it. So I think that combined with some other factors that play into Augusta is just a very desirable city for a lot of these companies to headquarter in. And then I when I hear Disgusta, I still look at it as an opportunity. I think that just shows that we as a community still it's a challenge, and it's still I look at it as a motivator, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I want to again applaud y'all for what y'all are doing. Thank you for having us on, and keep doing what you're doing. This is incredible. So thanks for having us on.
Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
Thank you to Team AmErica. Thank you to Amanda. Thank you to Erica.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank y'all. The drink was incredible.
The drinks are fantastic.
Yes. Before we end, I do need to do some events that are happening.
Do your thing.
You can move it wherever you want. But
We'll see.
I will say that if you ever are trying to do a hotter
Bloody
mix,
Mary? Yeah.
I'll be your test.
I would love it. That'd be awesome.
That would be fun.
You're welcome anytime.
That'd be
like
fun.
I said,
I'm sure your marketing fiends could do something with that too.
Speaking of events, I hope that you guys are at Mud Bug and Brew, because that is so perfect for your brand.
Got you.
Crawfish Festival.
See, Team America is already on it.
Saturday, March 14th,
Okay.
12 to 7 p.m.
Interesting.
The Metro Spirit is hosting their 7th annual Spring Fest Craft Beer Festival. And
Is that the one at the James Brown Arena?
No.
Oh.
In fact, this is not your typical craft beer festival, so don't get excited. I'm
not excited.
This has the past 6 years. It's been at the Evans Town Center, the Lady A Amphitheater.
Oh.
And they are now moving it to the Commons. So this will be in this area.
I'm seeing thinking faces on
Yes.
the Durty Gurl marketing team.
And it'll be, again, Saturday, March 14th, 12 to 7 p.m. And I'm reading this right now. It is a free event. There's going to be live music. There are going to be about 4 bands, which is good stuff. Right. Craft beer, food trucks. It's presented by the Hawk Firm, and it's an event thrown by the Metro Spirit.
Shout out.
I will be there. It's the weekend before St. Patty's Day. And I just wanted to shout that out real quick.
That's incredible, though. That sounds
That's something
great.
to do.
Yeah,
Something to do.
Absolutely.
Also, I don't know if you're familiar with the Pace Line. We made a post about it on Instagram.
I believe
the
it.
Pace Line Ride. It is it's a fundraiser. Paceline specifically is a community event here in Augusta, and 100% fundraising goes to the Fund Critical Research at Georgia Cancer Center. David, I'm letting you know, and I'll let y'all know that I'm actually in it.
What?
I'll be biking 45 miles.
Yes, you. Oh,
Yep.
boy.
I'll be biking 45 miles, and it'll be everywhere downtown. I'm going to be doing it with the Andy Jordan's Bike Warehouse team.
Are you willing to wear a GoPro?
Yes, I have a GoPro.
We'll
I'll
talk
put it on
about
my
this.
helmet.
We'll talk about
What
this.
about Durty Gurl apparel?
Ooh.
I'm down.
right.
We'll talk.
right.
We'll talk. But anyways,
Durty Gurl athletic wear.
Yeah.
I'm going to be posting about it next week, and it's basically I pay $100 to do it, but then I have to raise money for it.
Good luck.
So I have a end goal. I think it's about $350 for my 45 miles, which is, I think, very easy to do.
That's not bad.
But anyways, I'm speaking about this because our partner, Savannah River Brewery, March 12th, which is a Thursday, they will be doing bikes, beer, and basic science from 5:30 to close.
Three things that go well together.
Yes. Yes. Science makes beer.
Yeah.
And cocktail mixers.
Sure.
But anyways, 10% proceeds will be donated to Paceline Riders fundraiser. Again, if you want more information on the Paceline Ride, you can check out www.pacelinерide.org. Make sure you put the www. before.
I don't think you have to.
Pacelineride.org. That's all my events that I've got. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
The team is the Durty Gurl team. We've got Team America. We've got Amanda. We've got Erica. I can't shout you guys out enough. I keep trying to, but I can't do it. Mr. David Hopkins is the man that's interviewing with us today. Thank you all so much for your time here. Entrepreneurs in Augusta, pioneers of digital marketing, which is a totally new field, really, in Augusta. Thank you to all that you guys are doing.
I'll be going to Kroger.
And thank you for the hospitality. Even though you came to us, thank you for the hospitality.
Yes.
We've got so many cups in front of us right now. It's crazy.
Thank y'all. We really appreciate it. David, Chris, nice to meet both of y'all.
Yes.
Thanks for what you're doing.
Thank you.